Have you ever felt like you're more than just this life? Like there's something deeper at play? Long before your eyes first opened in this world, your soul made a choice. It picked this life, this body, and this very moment in time. Joy, struggle, and even heartache, it all came as part of the deal. But once you took your first breath, something happened. You forgot. Society ingrained in you that life begins at birth and culminates in death, that your existence is merely a roll of the dice, that you're just a collection of flesh and bone here by sheer chance. Yet, if you look closely, deep inside, you've always sensed there's more to it than that. Ever met someone and felt an eerie sense of familiarity, as if you'd known them forever? That wasn't merely random. How about those dreams that felt excessively real, beyond mere imagination? That was remembrance. And those flashes of déjà vu, the unshakable fears, the inexplicable pull toward places you've never been, these are all signs of something deeper. Your soul has walked this path countless times, and now it's time to remember why. From day one, you were thrust into a reality designed to make you forget. The confines of your crib became the first walls confining your existence. Words were given not to expand your spirit, but to restrict it. You learned a name, a nationality, beliefs, labels that anchored you to an identity never truly yours. You were told what was real and what wasn't, what paths to take and what questions were too foolish to ask. But here's a truth they don't want you to grasp. Everything surrounding you is an illusion. The physical world, the life you wake up to every morning, is but an ephemeral stage, a transient projection of energy formed into matter. Yet most people cling to it, desperate to gain wealth, status, and recognition, believing those things define their worth. You chase happiness through achievement and approval, tethered to a system that values you mainly for your output. You're handed a script: go to school, secure a job, buy a home, raise a family, retire, and then slowly fade away. The cycle rolls on, unquestioned, teaching generations that this is all there is. But what if I told you that even before you entered this world, you possessed a profound understanding? That your soul, unchained by labels or identities, willingly incarnated here, knowing full well it would be ensnared in this illusion. Why would a soul choose to forget? Why plunge into a life brimming with trials and uncertainty? Because Earth is a school, a realm for personal growth. Life in the physical plane is a grand test, designed to mold your soul through challenges, love, loss, and transformation. Every hardship, every moment of strife, is a piece of a puzzle bigger than you can imagine. But here lies the catch: none of it is meant to last. This world is but a fleeting station before the journey continues. Yet, countless individuals remain asleep to this reality, ensnared in a web of attachments that ensnare them in endless cycles of reincarnation. The deeper your attachment to relationships, belongings, and status, the more tangled you become. The system thrives on this, reinforcing the notion that you are just a body and that life is a fleeting event with nothing beyond the tangible. But those who awaken, the ones who remember, understand this is merely the beginning. In our fast-paced world, you might have sensed that something isn't quite right. Perhaps you've contemplated that time isn't as linear as it seems. You've had poignant, vivid dreams or unhealthy fears that seem unwarranted. Perhaps those feelings of familiarity have bubbled beneath the surface, whispers of truth waiting to be unveiled. Death isn't the end. It is a transition. You have shed your physical self before stepping into the unknown, and upon crossing over, clarity envelops you. The illusions of time, identity, and superficial separation dissolve, and you remember all you've forgotten. The moment of death doesn't bring darkness. It unveils a tapestry of your life, woven with meaning and depth. But here's what you may not know. You don't just witness your past, you feel it. Every action, every word, every thought reverberates back to your essence. If you've inflicted pain, you experience it. If you've shared love, you embody that love. This is your life review, the first step of your transition. While some souls find their liberation in the clarity of their past lives, ready to advance, others are haunted by regret and attachment. For those unready to let go, they linger, trapped between two realities, bound to this physical realm. Yet, those who embrace the journey advance toward the next phase, a dimension where time loses relevance and the soul is liberated from bodily constraints. Some sense this as a radiant tunnel, others as an endless expanse. What matters is that here, a new journey unfolds. Once you transition from this world, your soul ascends into heightened awareness, free from suffering, limitation, and doubt. Some souls resonate with an overwhelming return home. Others take time to adjust, still echoing remnants of their past lives. No soul is lost. Each is nurtured and guided into precisely where it must go. Yet, the question arises, what lies ahead? For many, the answer is clear. Unresolved lessons beckon, unfinished karma awaits, growth is still to be achieved. Thus the soul opts to return, to embody another life, another narrative, knowing it must once again forget. This cycle persists, repeating until the soul awakens and breaks free from its chains. But what happens if a soul resists that return? A rarer journey unfolds, one that bypasses reincarnation and ascends to realms where no body is necessary, evolving toward an unfathomable essence beyond human comprehension. For most, however, the cycle turns a ceaseless wheel of life, death, and rebirth until the essential lessons are understood and the illusion shatters. Not every soul transitions post-mortem in the same manner. Some effortlessly shed the weight of their past, while others wrestle with attachments that compel them to remain stuck in cycles they do not recognize. The afterlife isn't punitive, it's simply a stage of purification. Here, souls confront the echoes of their choices, each replayed vividly, not in punishment, but as an opportunity for learning. The soul isn't judged by an external force, rather its own awareness leads to self-realization. For some, this moment is brief. For others, it feels like eternity, because souls who resist and refuse to acknowledge their own reflection remain tethered, not by fate, but by their own reluctance to release what no longer serves them. However, those who do let go see a new horizon, the second heaven, where they've transcended physical form and exist purely in the state of thought, free from limitations. Here lies understanding, interconnectedness, and reflection on past choices shaping future trajectories. Souls gain clarity on how their decisions ripple through existence, and patterns repeat not by chance, but as lessons waiting to be grasped. But there exists yet another level, the third heaven, a sanctuary before the cycle recommences. Here, souls rest, absorb, and gain cosmic insight before their next incarnation. It's a space where deeper truths unravel, where all veils are lifted and the essence of being is revealed. Yet, despite all this understanding, many opt to return, not from coercion, but from an insatiable thirst for further exploration. They are drawn back into new bodies, craving the lessons that remain, perpetuating a cycle until they've gleaned the understanding they sought. But rare are the souls that choose not to return. What happens then? Their journey takes a divergent path. Some soar into realms beyond earthly bindings, continuing their evolution towards unfathomable vistas. For most, however, the saga continues, repeating, chasing patterns, harboring attachment, longing for that which cannot fulfill. Thus, the unseen bond to the material world, attachment, functions as an invisible chain, tethering souls to earthly desires, the hunger for power, recognition and control, defining self-worth by fleeting constructs. As long as a soul clings to the tangible, it cannot escape. This is why breaking the cycle feels insurmountable. Souls are not coerced into reincarnation. They deliberately choose it repeatedly because they are yet to perceive that all this is temporary. The pain, the struggle, and the endless chase are mere constructs of the illusion. A vast game the soul plays with itself. And the biggest trick of all? Forgetting. Each rebirth wipes the slate clean. You forget the lessons of the past, the mistakes made, the moments of clarity. Thus, you begin anew, believing this existence is unique, perpetually wandering down a path you've traversed countless times. Some begin to awaken to this truth. They feel déjà vu, strange fears, or inexplicable gravitational pulls toward people or places. An underlying restlessness aches as they search, almost instinctually, for something just beyond reach. Because their past lives don't entirely vanish, they persist, waiting to be reclaimed beneath the surface. Yet the clamor of modern living often overshadows these whispers. Our pursuits, distractions, and the search for applause drown out the internal calls to awaken. True freedom from the reincarnation cycle isn't about rejecting this life entirely. It is about transcending its grip, realizing nothing is permanent. Everything you believe defines you will ultimately fade. It's about letting go. So, how do you break free? It begins with awareness. The moment you recognize the illusion's grasp, it starts to loosen. The importance of money, status, and validation that once dominated your thoughts begins to fade. You stop reacting as before. The chase subsides. Mindfulness becomes your cornerstone, not the diluted version marketed to heighten productivity, but authentic mindfulness, which leads you into the heart of yourself. By observing your thoughts without attachment, you unravel the layers of programmed identity and desires imposed upon you by society. Meditation becomes another crucial tool, not as an escape, but as a process of uncovering. In silence, layers of distraction dissolve, revealing profound awareness. In that sacred space, remembrance emerges, not as an intellectual concept, but as an intrinsic, undeniable knowing. You comprehend that you are far greater than this singular role, this transient existence. The final piece is detachment, not about becoming indifferent to life, but rather living fully without clinging. Experience love without possession. Embrace life without fear. Understand nothing is eternally yours. The ultimate realization. You are not the individual trying to escape. The concept of you is part of the illusion. The identity, the character, the ego were always temporary facets in a greater narrative. When you release identification with these transient roles, a transformation occurs. The illusion falters, the cycle melts away, revealing an essence that transcends words. Few ever reach this moment of awakening. Most continue through the cycle, dictated by attachments, regrets, and desires. But the choice is yours. As long as you continue to play the game, the cycle endures. The moment you cease, the moment you challenge the illusion, you are free. Every lifetime is an opportunity to choose, but many go through the motions, born, living according to societal scripts, and passing on, oblivious to the freedom of choice before them. Right now, you stand at a pivotal intersection. Perhaps this is the first time you've pondered life's deeper significance. or maybe you've been seeking answers for ages. Either way, this moment can shift your entire trajectory. Most will forget, resuming their routines, drowning themselves in noise and distraction, never fully grasping this truth. They cling to worldly pursuits, believing the next achievement or relationship will finally yield fulfillment. They will continue to chase, only to find themselves back at the starting line, confronting the same choices all over again. Yet a select few will awaken. To awaken is to pierce through the veil of illusion. To recognize everything experienced is but a fleeting moment in an expansive stream of existence. It is understanding that you are not your name, your body, or your narrative. You are the awareness beneath all. And this awareness has endorsed myriad experiences, watching you play countless roles in different lifetimes. It will continue to observe until the moment arises when you decide you no longer require human experiences. That choice is yours. But remember, awakening is just the beginning. The world is ripe with distractions, designed to drag you back into complacency. Society will dictate what matters, while friends and family reinforce what's normal, keeping you bound to pursuits that never fill the void within. For those rare souls willing to step beyond the noise, who dare to stop chasing and instead look inward, knowledge begins to unfurl. They let go of what they once deemed essential and slowly start to recollect their truths, always present beneath the surface, awaiting acknowledgement. So I ask, will this be just another fleeting moment, or the time you dare to choose differently? Will you embark on your journey toward awakening? One path leads back into the cycle, another life, and forgetting. The other leads beyond, past illusions, beyond time and constraints, transcending everything you thought was real. Few souls choose that path. But if you're still here, listening and resonating with that inner pull, you might just be one of them. If you've traveled this far through this message, it's not by mere chance. Your journey has unfolded perfectly, suggesting that your soul is ready for this realization. Perhaps you've never considered questioning existence, or maybe you've known it deep down, waiting for clarity. This is that moment. Most souls will remain in slumber, tied to identities and attachments, believing life's pursuits will bring them lasting satisfaction. But victory isn't found in ice, status, or achievements. They're all borrowed, waiting to be returned. When the curtain falls, they face the same choice again. A select few awaken. They see the world anew, no longer reacting, but observing how others chase ephemeral desires, seeking fulfillment in shadows. Through this observation, the illusion weakens. The world they once accepted as solid begins to shatter. Gradually, the truth seeps in. Liberation isn't about rejecting life. It's living without being engulfed in it. It's traversing through existence with no attachments or fear, breaking free from cyclical patterns. It's about acknowledging your vastness beyond this body, beyond this name, and beyond fleeting moments in time. Awakening is one part of the process. True freedom arrives when you align your actions with this knowing. Stop seeking outward for meaning and start searching within. Move from a space of fear or desire to a realm rooted in the deep knowledge that you are far beyond what has been made known. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Most will continue to sleep, staying comfortable in habits over awakening's discomfort. They'll hear this truth and walk away unchanged. But not everyone. A few will feel this resonance, recognize their path, and remember. But if you feel that pull, if this message resonates with you, you know what comes next. If you found clarity in this discussion, please tell us below. The final piece is detachment. Make sure to click on the video appearing on your screen right now where we'll dive into the enigmatic wisdom that's been kept from us throughout history. Discover secrets that can transform your understanding of life and existence. So, don't miss out. Click that video, and let's continue this awakening together. Your journey is just beginning. See you there.